One of the things I get asked all the time, especially by kids, is why do you have a stick? And I wanted to think of some clever title for my drumming journey documentation because I think this is going to be something that hasn't really been done before. And so I wanted something catchy. And initially, I was just going to call it Going In Blind, which I think is funny, but that could apply to anything. So I'll let you guys cast your votes. Going In Blind or Why Do You Have Sticks? Those are my two working titles for this series. Roll the intro, let's talk about drumming. From a black background, two teal canes crossing behind a pink atom flicker on in neon light. To the right, white words stack vertically, blind over matter. The words and logo fade to black. Today, I really wanted to kind of make this episode -0 of the new series because there's a lot of things that I want to do and talk about before I start getting things in. And I'm going to be doing this over several months, mostly for financial reasons, collecting things piece by piece and giving you a review of all the things as I get them to put my drum setup together. But today, I want to talk about some of my apprehensions, some of my interests as far as starting something new as a blind person that is not designed for blind people. So what do I mean by that with specifics to drumming? Well, from the fairly extensive YouTube research that I have done, and I love YouTube because you hear people talking and you can see people playing, you can hear the sound demos for these things and all that good stuff. One of the things that I've come across quite frequently in terms of electronic drum kits, which is what I'm looking at purchasing here, is that the module, which is kind of the computer that controls all your fancy boops and beeps and drum sounds, they're like for sighted people or something. So they're visual, right, by nature. And it used to be that a lot of them just operated on physical buttons. Some didn't even have a screen, and you were solely reliant on the buttons. And of course, everyone now complains about that. And we're like, the old ones were, just a annoying set of buttons. And I want a touchscreen because I'm a young modern person. And as a blind person, I'm screaming into the void, now, I guess, and saying, no, please. Give me physical buttons because I need them unless you're going to make your drum module talk, which I have not yet seen or heard of. I need physical buttons so that I can use muscle memory and context and who's it's and what's it's to navigate something even a little bit. And there's no doubt that I'm going to have help in setting all this stuff up and all that anyway. But I want to try to do this as independently as I can. Independently? That's a word. Independently as I can and document that process. And that is what brings me to this series as a whole. One of the things that I have not yet seen in the YouTube space is documenting like a hobby or doing something kind of fun, and also documenting at the same time the accessibility challenges that come with it. So to me, I'm really excited to get into something new. I definitely have ADD, so I get really into something and I want to explore it, I want to know about it, I want to do it, I want to get hands-on with it. But I can't separate that from accessibility challenges like, whether or not the software that I get for free with my drum module, if I get the one I'm thinking about, is accessible with a screen reader. And I want to kind of check it out. I'm not going to be complaining and crazy the whole time, but I want my folding of the drum journey to include both the musical and the fun kind of whimsical stuff, but also the realistic approach of me doing this for the first time as a blind guy. So that is what this series is going to become. And if you want to see the rest of it, I will do an episode 0 with kind of what I'm thinking as far as equipment and try to get some insight if you have any. But I started with -0 because I wanted to kind of lay this out. And I thought, I don't know why, I think I went to space camp in Huntsville, Alabama. And we had you're kind of set up there for a week. And I went for SciViz week, which that's an acronym for something, but essentially it meant that like 200 blind kids from around the country all got put together at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville. And so they put you on teams, and there's probably, I don't know, 5 or 6, different teams. And I think I was on Team Metcalf, if I remember. They were all named after various space humans. Anyway, long aside to say that one of the things that they had to do throughout the week, and you don't know everybody's name, and so we had a system where everyone got assigned a number, and I think we had 20 people. And I'm laughing because I think we had 20 people on our team. But the first girl, was it Emily? I don't know. I don't remember her name. Anyway, they would call her name, and she would, instead of yelling 1, because she would, be the first person, she would just routinely and kind of nondescriptly yell, -0! And that broke the entire team for a week, and we all thought it was hilarious. And every once in a while, I will think of something, and I wanted to find a use for -0. Dumb story, dumb situation, absolutely. But this is not going to be a dumb series, so if you want to follow along my introduction to drumming, I think I've sat behind an acoustic kit once and kind of bonked around when I was a kid for like 5 minutes and was like, oh, that's cool, I'm going to go like drink a juice box. And now, as an adult, I've mentioned it in previous videos, but I'm just a little frustrated with guitar, and I want something new that is physical, that is really engaging, and I think drumming has the potential to do that. So if you want to see the insanity that ensues, subscribe, like. Apparently there's a hypey button of some kind. I don't know what that means, because I'm old, and I'm only 28, but I'm old. Thanks for checking this out. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you soon. Peace.